Good morning all. So we're moving on to Surah 87, Surah Al-Allah, right? Surah Al-Allah. And well, this is self-explanatory. It means God, well, the Most High, right? Allah meaning the Most High God, right? That's the name of the Surah 87, right? So we begin in the name of Allah, right? The Most High, right? So the surah opens with exalting the name of Allah, the Most High, who created and proportioned, who destined and guided, and who brings out the pasture and then makes it a black stubble, right? So in essence, the book is saying that Allah is responsible for what? Both creation and destruction, right? Of anything, and is capable of creating, sustaining, and destroying, right? Who brings out a pasture, meaning greenness, right? Greenness, life, right? And then makes it a black stubble, right? So nothing on earth is permanent, right? There's nothing on earth that's permanent. Nothing and no one on earth that's permanent, right? So for a period of time, there's greenery, there's life, there's life, and then after a while, all things disintegrate, right? It makes it a black stubble, meaning you go back to return, right? You return to God, you return to Allah, you return to death, right? I don't like to be harping on the topic of death so much, but it's just a reminder, right? And it's not going to last, it's not going to be forever, right? It's just under a month again to complete this reminder or this remembrance as a form of watch the things that you watch how you live, right? So that you will watch how you die as well, right? Watch how you live so that you will be reminded that you're not here, you're not spending your whole lifetime or your eternity on earth, and be reminded of your mortality, right? So recite the Quran, right? You will not forget except what Allah should, right? Except what Allah wills, right? So what Allah can will what you will forget and what you will remember, right? Indeed, He knows what is declared and what is hidden, and will ease you towards further ease, right? So remind if the reminder should benefit, right? He who fears Allah, right, fears consequences for your decisions, right, will be reminded, right? But the wretched will avoid it, right? So it is a reminder that you should pay close attention to consequences to the way that you behave whilst you're on earth here, right? He or she has certainly succeeded who purifies oneself, right? So purify yourself, right? Meaning to read the Quran, and you could self-purify. I always say that you don't need to go by this person and that person, right? You don't need to do a million things, rituals, this, that, to purify yourself, right? You purify yourself because I say that the book is judgment, yeah? The book is your judgment, and the book is a self-purificatory process, right? So you read the Quran, right? And even better if you teach it, right? You read the Quran, and even better if you teach it, right? And you self purify, well, purify through Allah, but you self purify, right? So you don't need to do this ritual and that ritual and the other and this and that and a sort of unnecessary things in this process, right? It's a simple process, right? So mention the name of Allah and pray, right? So prayer is a form of remembrance, connecting, right? That's why when Muslims pray 5 times a day, it's almost like God is always on your mind, right? Because it's morning, throughout the day, evening, night, right? So it's like a form of constantly connecting with God, right? Constantly connecting with Allah, right? Mention the name of Allah and pray, right? Some people on earth prefer the worldly life, ignoring the fact that the hereafter is better and more enduring, right? The hereafter, right, meaning that which is of Allah and that which Allah provides is more enduring than anything, and more satisfactory and more brings more contentment or fulfillment than anything in this material world could possibly bring, right? Or anybody in this material world could possibly bring, right? So, and all of this is in fact in former scriptures as well. The Quran is just tying it in and putting everything in a simplified form, right? So that it can be communicated to the world in a way that we can bring about some kind of harmony and putting all the pieces together, as I always say, and bringing about some kind of harmony with regard to our past divisions and so on, right? So so we move on, right, to Surah 88 tomorrow, inshallah, right? So have a peaceful and blessed day, everybody. Bye.